PBA was the new PBA. There was always Erie, Pennsylvania. And Erie native Bob Learn set the bowling world on end here in 1996 with the best four-game series ever bowled on television. He won the Flagship Open with games of 300, 270, 280, and a 279 championship game final, giving the sold-out Erie Civic Center a performance to remember. And he's back again to recapture that hometown glory. But there are a bunch of PBA's best standing in the way. The most recent U.S. Open champion, Mika Koivuniemi, is his opponent in match number 1. Last year's Battle at Little Creek champion Steve Wilson is here. And two PBA TV first-timers look to make their mark as 28-year-old Jason Queen and 22-year-old Blaze Bedoya look to get a taste of their first championship title. Since 1991, the PBA has come to Erie, Pennsylvania, and this year it is again on the schedule as we welcome you to the Eastway Lanes in Erie, Pennsylvania for the PBA's Flagship Open. Let's take a look at our Alka-Seltzer brackets and take a look at our 5 finalists in match number 1. The Big Fin, Mika Koivuniemi, will be taking on hometown favorite Bob Learn Jr. and the rookie Blaze Bedoya meeting Steve Wilson, who'll be looking for his 4th title. And waiting in the wings is the winner of the 1997 Masters. He did it as an amateur, Jason Queen. Let's get to our wild card match, Mika Koivuniemi and Bob Learn Jr. Well, he leaves the 10, and we have to talk, first of all, how great the scores have been this week. It's been the highest cut in the entire season so far. The scoring has been great, and we all have a sense that there just might be a 300 on television.
Well, it all depends on carry, and Eastway Lanes just happens to be one of the best carrying centers in the United States. And we'll explain a little bit about why that is a little later.
As we take a look at the Big Fin, they call him, Mika Koivuniemi, the 34-year-old out of Finland. His 2 titles, talk about great. He wins the Masters in Albuquerque, comes back, wins the U.S. Open last year.
Mr. Major.
And he opens up with a strike. Randy, let's take a look at the lane conditions because they have been interesting this week.
Well, we had a lot of friction outside first arrow right here. The players that hook the ball, they get into here and they throw to that dry spot. The guys that threw it straight and hard like Bob Learn, he gets right on top of it and fires the high hard one right into the 1-3.
Mika now living in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Married, has a couple of children. Very personable man. You're going to be hearing that a lot when Mika throws the ball. Sounds like it's bouncing. When he first got on the tour, Randy, didn't he have loft that just about carried down the lane?
He actually lofted the ball halfway to the arrows, learned to tame that down. The reason why he did that is because when he bowled overseas in Europe, the front part of the lane was very dry, and he combated that by lofting it over the heads.
That's how Bob Learn Jr. got to this wild card match. He's in the strike book. You know, he said it's great bowling in his hometown. He lives 5 minutes away, but we find interesting, he worked at the Eastway Lanes. He was a mechanic. He actually used to take the machines out of the back, steam clean them, and he worked at the front desk. He feels very at home here.
It's like having lanes in your garage. You know, he's bowled here his entire life.
With the strike, he pulls even with Mika Koivuniemi. Bob threw 3 frames. He had such confidence last night we were talking in the way he's been bowling, and so has Mika Koivuniemi. Although Mika told us last night, Randy, that leading up to this match play, he survived. Didn't have any great, big, huge, high-scoring games.
His high game was 269 for the week, and we had 19 300 games this week.
Well, he's got 2 in a row. 3 in a row now for Koivuniemi. Bowling fans, if you log on right now to PBA.com, you can chat live with Randy Peterson's roommate, Dave Traber. And if you have a question about today's telecast, leave it in the TV questions section of the community page. And if your question is answered live on the air, you'll receive a PBA prize package. Trans was excited. He was excited about doing this. He's on right now, folks. Get on live.
Oh, ball just a little bit high, leaving the forepin. I think the other thing we need to talk about with these lane conditions is this surface is about as good a surface as you'll find anywhere. As this ball catches a little bit too much of the head pin. The lane surface is perfect. It's synthetics. The levelness of the lanes are absolutely perfect. Yields high scores plus the carry. That's why we had guys averaging 250 and 260 during portions of the tournament this week.
Everybody was hitting the pocket this week from what we saw.
Well, I mean, we've had weeks where you didn't really have a whole lot of trouble getting to the pocket, but the carry was an issue. And this week, it's not that. That hasn't been the question. Guys, when they get to the 1-3, they strike.
Well, Bob learned if he strikes, he'll be able to go up on one pin. Yeah, that's in the books. How important is it for Mika Koivuniemi not to be intimidated by the crowd, because this is their favorite son?
Well, obviously very important. The way you do that is you throw a lot of strikes and you keep the pressure on Bob Learn. But, you know, Mika is not from the United States. And I'm not sure he's going to be the crowd favorite anywhere he goes. And I think he's probably used to that. Interesting starting position for Bob Learn. One hand on the ball.
Yeah. He'll go up by 11, and he does. Well, he had a 300 game when he won here in 1996, and right now Bob Learn is on a roll. The Erie, Pennsylvania native. We are in our wild card match. We'll be back. Today's live coverage of the Flagship Open on ESPN is brought to you by Meineke Discount Mufflers. You won't pay a lot, but you'll get a lot. By Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief. Nothing puts out the fire faster. And by Dexter, the #1 bowling shoe in the world. The right shoe for you. Along with Randy Peterson, 12-time winner on the PBA Tour, I'm Ron Poulin, welcoming you back while we were away. Mika Koivuniemi strikes in the 5th and 6th. Bob Learn after the spare in the 1st, working on a 4-bagger. Strike would put him up by 11. Break it down for us, Pro.
Well, that ball went high, leaving the Greek church. We call this the commercial blues because every now and then, coming out of a commercial, player gets soft. This ball cuts right through the heart. His ball speed was actually just a pinch softer on that shot. Location about the same.
He was telling us last night that these conditions are made for him. He'd rather play out the way they played this week and some of last week.
Interesting way to shoot this because he loses the count. Instead of going for the 3, went for the 2.
Well, he leaves the 8th open. That hurts.
And we've seen this during the week. In the other matches, when a player opens like that, it's usually the end of him because the other player is going to hit the pocket and strike. Just can't avoid an open frame when the scores are this high and lane conditions are this good.
Well, he comes back, takes a long look at that left-hand lane, but you know, you talk about coming back and striking back. But Mika Koivuniemi told us last night, and we were both kind of shocked at this. He said, you know, I'm not a good striker on the tour. And you said, yes, you are, but his percentage this week is a low 62%. It's usually high, but 62% has been low this week. Working on the double. And he's got a triple.
Yeah, I don't see any letting up in Mika. See that high backswing, lofts the ball out on the lane, cuts down on the hook, holds the ball on line. The ball takes out the 9 pin, the last pin to go off the deck.
Does his push away determine how much loft he has?
His push away and his height. He's a very tall man. He's a big guy. He's got long arms.
Well, a strike will put him up by 40 pins. Well, he was talking to it in English. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, you heard it as soon as he let go of it. That ball was left, pulled, and he gets the fortunate break of only leaving the 3-6-10. However, this spare is no gimme.
Well, here it is again. Yeah, he knew it right away, Randy.
Yep. And players can feel it as soon as the ball leaves their hand, whether it's a good shot or a bad shot. All right, no sweat there.
Well, he still hasn't left the frame open yet, and Bob Learn has, and now he is up by 27 pins. He's on pace for a possible 256. Bob's got his work cut out for him.
Well, he's on pace right now, shooting 236. Bob can strike out for 249.
Well, Bob's not going to give up easily, we know that. ESPN has an important ACC college basketball matchup coming up next at 2 o'clock. You'll have a chance to see Wake Forest taking on the Maryland Terrapins. College basketball on ESPN. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Coming up immediately following our game.
Did you see what Oklahoma did to Texas last night?
Clobbered him.
Yeah.
I'll say Boomer sooner for you.
Hit it!
Come on, come on.
And that was a big hit. That could have cut the lead to 7. Or cut the deficit to 7.
And Bob Learn's wife, Stacy. Daughter Brittany also in the crowd.
This ball is just a pinch light. Head pin comes over to the sidewall looking for the 10 pin. Just doesn't get over to it.
Well, he's going to look back and he's going to look at that 6th frame. That is what hurt.
Right now he needs a little help from Mika.
Mika really starting to put things together in preparation for next week's huge tournament in Toledo, Ohio. $120,000 first place prize check on the line. Well, he's putting nails in the coffin one at a time.
That ball was just a pinch high, and that was the lane that Bobby left that big split on.
Well, he's up by 18 now.
In the driver's seat. Any mark, and he's a winner here.
Well, he's looking forward to next week because he'll be able to stay at home, Ann Arbor, Michigan, about 45-minute drive from Toledo, Ohio. Have a chance to spend some time with his family.
Wow.
No 7-10 today.
You heard Mika say no 7-10 today. Last night in his match against Bob Learn, he needs a mark to win the second game.
7-10.
Leaves a blowout 7-10. Bob gets up and strikes out to beat him.
That's right. These two met in the final match of the evening, and Bob beat him 3 straight. And he able to muster a smile. But we've got our winner. Mika Koivuniemi will keep Bob Learn from winning in his hometown of Erie, Pennsylvania, which he did in '96. Very impressive match for Mika. Well, he is on a roll, Randy. Well, next week, the PBA, of course, brings you the PBA World Championships from the Southwick Lanes in Toledo, Ohio, with the richest first-place prize in PBA history, $120,000 going to the winner. Then it's at Battle at Little Creek, Sunday, March 17th. And even though the PBA season is winding down, there are a number of regional events upcoming, and check in your region for details. Now, Mika's happy with his performance, rightly so. Randy, that was impressive. Didn't let the crowd get into it, as we talked about, and he did what he had to do.
Well, it was the 6th frame was the turning point, obviously, in the match. Bob Learn strikes there. He's going at a 260 pace. One shot.
Throws it and walks away and looks up and says thank you.
Well, it was a great week for Bob. A lot of pressure bowling in front of the hometown fans.
You know, I asked him last night about distractions, and he said, no, he goes, being at home isn't really a distraction. A lot of bowlers don't like bowling in their hometown because you've got to worry about friends and family.
Well, he may have said that, but it is.
Yeah, thank you.
The worst thing you can do is bowl bad in front of the home crowd.
Yeah.
I had stints where we bowled in L.A. and I bowled just terrible, and it was a very lonely place to be.
Well, that man's not going to be lonely very long because he's going to stay in this tournament. He advances to the second semifinal. Taking on Jason Queen as Bob Learn picks up the spare in the 10th. So Bob Learn finishes with a 218. Mika Koivuniemi has advanced to the second semifinal. Our first semifinal coming up straight ahead from Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yeah!
No kid can resist the taste of rich chocolate Ovaltine.
This is so good! And chocolatey! This is great chocolate milk, isn't Nesquik? Get real. It's rich chocolate Ovaltine.
Kids love Ovaltine's rich chocolate taste. And Ovaltine adds vitamins and minerals that Nesquik powder doesn't. So why give them Nesquik when you can give them more? And there are more vitamins and minerals in Ovaltine.
Ovaltine rocks!
Ovaltine, please! Oh, how was your dinner, eh? heartburn. I've got just what you need.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief. Faster than Pepcid AC or even the leading prescription. Heartburn Relief. A different kind of Alka-Seltzer that puts out the fire of heartburn fast.
Feels better, eh?
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief. Nothing puts out the fire faster.
Tough morning? Try new Alka-Seltzer Morning Relief to relieve your headache and revive you.
Hi, Billy Mays here for Grip Wrench, the one tool with the power to do it all. Use it around the house for fixtures and fittings or opening up that stubborn jar. The Grip Wrench is the right tool for every job. If you've ever busted a nail or a knuckle, then the Grip Wrench is for you. The secret's the unique gripping action combined with the power of the handle that gives you the strength to open, loosen, or tighten in one easy motion. It grips without damaging the surface. Call now and you'll get the Grip Wrench for only $19.99. We'll also include the mini Grip Wrench, a $10 value, yours free. You get both wrenches for just $19.99. But call right now and we'll include the grip socket, a $20 value, absolutely free. That means you get all this, a $50 value, all for just $19.99. Here's how to order.
To order your grip wrench, call 1-800-915-4499 or send a check or money order to the address listed. Call now.
Once again, the final score of our wild card match. Bob Learn Jr. falls to Mika Koivuniemi of Finland, 255-218. Koivuniemi will advance to semifinal number 2. Let's take a look at our Alka-Seltzer brackets and update them. And Bedoya and Wilson up next, and then Jason Queen will be meeting Mika Koivuniemi coming up in just a couple of minutes. Even though the Winter Olympics are winding down, the bowling industry's effort to gain Olympic status continues. The PBA is an active proponent in this effort, putting together presentations to the International Olympic Committee. Here now are some Olympic thoughts from some PBA stars.
When I was a kid, 1984 Olympics in LA, being only about 40 minutes away from LA Coliseum, where Carl Lewis won the 4 or 5 medals that he had won that year in track and field. Those two things definitely stand out in my mind as true Olympic moments that I watched growing up, and just the glory of competing for your country. It was a great honor, even to watch.
The Olympics where we beat the Russians in hockey, you know, the miracle on ice. I think that sticks with everyone.
In mine, I saw Mary Lou Retton on TV, and I remember as a teenager watching her do incredible things in gymnastics to win the gold.
My goal always has to be to win the Olympic gold medal, but I hope that come true someday, because then I know I'm going to be a big star in Finland.
Yeah, my biggest regret is just the fact that I've never had a chance to bowl in the Olympics. I've bowled overseas. I bowl professionally now, and all the hard work that I put into this game has definitely paid off, but I never got the one chance to bowl in the Olympics. And I would love to be able to sit there one day when I'm old and gray and sitting on the couch with my grandchildren and say, hey, Gramps over here got to bowl in the Olympics and got a gold medal and got to stand up on the podium just like you're watching these guys on TV do right now.
Well, bowling is also an international sport. We see Mika Koivuniemi from Finland, and joining us now, one of the greats. He is a member of the PBA Hall of Fame, and that is Amuleto Monicelli. Now, talk about, you're from Venezuela. What is bowling like down there?
Well, bowling is definitely not the biggest sport. It's maybe like maybe the last one. But I got involved in bowling because my father built a bowling center in 1972, and I just loved the game from the beginning.
Well, you know, he likes soccer, though, Randy.
Yeah, he likes
football.
soccer.
Football, I'm sorry, he calls it football.
Amuleto, what would it mean to you if you could actually go to the Olympics and represent your country in bowling?
Well, I can't even imagine what kind of feel I would have, because it would be very I would be very nervous, that's for sure.
Representing your country is a little different than being out here. Amuleto is going to be joining us for the next match, which is our first semifinal match. Straight ahead, Steve Wilson, Blaze Bedoya, semifinal number 1. The winner gets to go to the finals and a chance at the $40,000 first place prize check. We'll be back, folks. A full house house in Erie, Pennsylvania at the Eastway Lanes for the PBA Flagship Open. Ameletta Monticelli is joining us in the booth along with Randy Peterson. I'm Ron Thula. We get a chance to look at one of the bright up-and-coming stars, that man right there, Blaise Bedoya out of Roseburg, Oregon. 19 300 games this week. This man had one of them. And Randy, you know, you and I had spent some time with him. This man has a great deal of confidence that he's going to take care of Steve Wilson in this first semifinal today.
Well, he should have a lot of confidence. He hasn't lost a match the entire week. He's 9-0 coming into the televised finals. Ameletta, you've seen this guy bowl a little bit. What's your thoughts?
I think he's a great bowler, and also you can understand that even though he didn't lose any match when he was bowling during the the match play, TV is a little different. It's his first TV show, and he definitely is going to be a little nervous.
The only other people to go 9-0 in match play, Brian Voss and Patrick Allen earlier this year. Well, we've talked about it before, Randy. First time on TV, how important, Ameletta, is it to get that first ball out of the way?
Let me tell you, the first shot is you don't feel you're even walking on the approach. If you just get there by
floating.
Yeah.
Now you see what he has done. Takes care of Pete Weber. He demolished Pete Weber. Pete, in fact, told us last night, he goes, I felt like I hit by a sledgehammer.
Yeah, but Blaise only averaged 278 for 3 games against Pete. So
piece of cake, huh?
Yeah, a little tough to beat that.
Well, Blaise has missed the cut in the last 2 tournaments. Big power player.
Good to make a spare your first time on TV, too. That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Imagine getting up your first shot, you leave a 4-pin, which is obviously a real easy spare for professionals, and you get up there and whiff it. That wouldn't be a good start for him. But here's a guy that's got a lot of TV experience, and he's had a great year.
Steve is bowling great. He definitely is one of my favorites.
And the 10 complies.
When you get a break like that, definitely makes you breathe again.
That looked like an Ameletta strike there. That love tap. Now take a look at Steve. Waist-high start, kind of rocks the ball up into the push-away. Level, parallel to the floor backswing. Really good balance and position. And then this is always a real nice thing to happen, huh, Ameletta?
Yeah. I think the lanes are getting a little tighter right now on the outside.
A little tighter, and what happens with the lane conditions this week, it forces the players a little bit to the right, and if they get to the edge too quick, the ball overhooks. Yeah. But, in all the matches that I watched last night and yesterday afternoon, to me, Steve Wilson looked like he had the best reaction.
I think you're right.
Well, he said he had the best reaction this week he's had in a long time. He's been mostly, though, trying to keep his hand behind the ball, which we've heard a lot from players. And also, the ball seems to be rolling dry for him, he was talking about last night.
Well, he keeps the ball on top of he's throwing a ball that hooks early, number one, and he keeps it on top of the dry. And when it comes off the dry, it doesn't make that big duck hook left.
Come on. Well, Blaise Bedoya, who's mentally very, very tough. He said he went to adult leagues when he was 15 years old, got his feet wet, and never lost interest in it.
Pretty good shot there. Pretty good shot there, leaving a ring in 10.
And no matter what he does, he's going to double his season earnings. Had only $7,000 coming in. He's guaranteed at least 9. You can see where everybody else finished. Chris Barnes had a great tournament. Wasn't able to come through in match play, though.
Dave DeEntremont averaged about 260 in qualifying.
Mike Edwards of Oklahoma City. Solid tournament. Blaise putting himself in a hole here after the first 2 frames, going spare, finds himself down by 11 already.
But, with the scoring the way it's been this week, he goes 9 spare, 9 spare. If he strikes out, he shoots 279. Steve Wilson can go all the way to the 9th frame, throw 9 in a row, go 9 spare strike, he shoots 279.
Once again, he did have a 300 game this week.
And that's possible, 279, 279. The lanes the way they are.
There he goes.
And that was real close to being a little too high. In his first frame, the left lane, ball comes in late. The normal adjustment, you've got free hook to the right. I'm going to get this one a little bit further right, and that ball almost overhooked.
I would think he probably is going to throw a little harder next time in the shot.
Play the same target and just throw a pinch harder?
Yeah.
And here's Steve Wilson. Strike will put him up by 21. And he is the man who grew up idolizing Mark Roth. He's kind of glad, I think, not glad, but he's probably went a sigh of relief that Bob Learn Jr. didn't make it to the next round, because that's his daughter's godfather. He'd have to bowl against his godfather. We asked, who would your daughter root for? You notice he hesitated last night when we asked him that. He didn't want to answer that one.
He doesn't want Bob going,
no.
I'll make you an offer you can't refuse.
His wife Sherry and daughter Sarah, who's just turned 3 years old, he said he'd love to win for Sarah to give her a belated birthday present. Sarah already a bowler at the age of 3.
Ooh. What a great shot. And
that was a good shot.
Talking about his ball reaction again, Amleto, his ball reaction to me looks like it blends the lane condition out. Gets it a little too far to the right. It doesn't really jump real hard off the dry. Gets it a little bit in. Ball just kind of rolls up nice and flush, as you see Sherry and Sarah. I just, watching him last night, his ball reaction today, just to me, looked like he had the best ball reaction.
I think so. Also, you have to understand when the lane condition, the way they are this week, the guy who moved the least is the one that's going to have the best shot, because the more you move, you can, different angle, then you can carry, and that could happen if they start moving.
There you see right now the score, Steve Wilson up by 20, but a strike by Blaise Bedoya would make it just a 10-pin advantage. Huge frame here in the fourth. That's standing up to the challenge for the young man out of Roseburg, Oregon, just 22 years old.
This one is pretty much perfect. Right into the 1-3.
Yes.
This ball's around second arrow. At the arrows, 15 feet, goes out to about the third board. Pretty much dead flush. Now, Amleto, we talked a little bit about Olympics, Mika Koivuniemi being from Finland. Why don't you tell the fans at home, how difficult has it been for you being from Venezuela and living the tour life?
Well, it was very difficult, especially when I came out. I was only 19 years old, and coming to a different country, a different culture, trying to learn, the language, which was pretty tough for me. It was tough, but my determination to do it was so strong that that's why I'm here right now. But to all the kids today, from other countries that want to come out, I think I open up a little,
that's right. You did.
Track for them, because they see me, I can do it. They think they can do it too.
And his family, I might add, is still back in Venezuela, and Amleto commutes. Was there last week, as a matter of fact. Oh, that hard.
And you get a backswing that high, you can really zip a 15, 16-pound ball down the lane.
A little velocity on that, and now we take a look at Steve Wilson. Right now he's up by 11. Well, the only superstition he has is not to be superstitious. Here's a man that's been working with Dave Davis and keeping his body forward.
Actually, he wants to keep his body a little more upright. He tends to get a little too forward.
Yeah.
David Davis worked on getting his shoulders back behind his left knee a little bit. He gets too far forward, kind of screws it into the lane a little bit.
Also, trying to maybe bend a little bit more from the waist down, getting a little more knee bend. Did he work on that too?
Well, if you lose bend in your waist, you've got to make up for it somewhere else. If your shoulders come up, you got to use more knee bend, and vice versa.
Well, since Vegas, Steve Wilson has bowled extremely well. Chance of one more, and he gets one more.
He's got a little rolled out there.
Well, Amleto, thanks for spending some time with us. Best luck. We'll see you in Toledo, big guys. Big prize check.
Thank you.
Good luck next week.
Thanks. Thank you.
Right now, Bedoya and Wilson. Wilson leads by 21. More of our first semifinal right after this.
Do you need to learn how to operate a computer? Hi, I'm John Scherer, CEO and founder of Video Professor. Seems like everywhere I go these days, somebody's recognizing me as the Video Professor. Well, that's because we've been teaching people how to run computers for over 14 years now. Our product is quick and it's easy to learn with, and you can try it for free. Over the years, millions of people have learned how to operate their computer using our product. We get happy letters every day from people thanking us. Violet from Alabama writes, your lesson make using the program seem so simple that even I can use it. Janet from California writes, your tutorials have opened up the world of computers to me at last. But the most rewarding thing for me is having people stop me on the street and telling me how easy it was to learn with our product. They had tried expensive classes, they tried big, thick manuals, they couldn't get it. If you just want to learn how to run a computer once and for all, save yourself a lot of time and energy, try our product. Let me show you how simple this is. You put this CD in your CD tray, your lesson will come up. The lesson plays right on your computer. It works just like a VCR. You have a play button, pause, rewind, fast forward. Just follow the step-by-step instruction. You know, I'm so confident my product will work for you, I'm going to send it to you absolutely free. It's regularly a $59.95 value. You pay a small shipping and handling. The reason I'm going to do it is because I know that once you try our product, you'll come back to us for all your computer learning needs. And if this doesn't teach you how to run that computer, I'll even refund your shipping and handling. So what do you got to lose? Try my product.
Call Video Professor now for your free lesson. Choose from Windows, Word, Quicken, the Internet, and many more. Call in the next 10 minutes and this free gift will be yours. The Anytime Organizer is the calendar, diary, address book, and journal on your PC, so you'll never miss an appointment again. Remember, you must call now to get your free CD and the extra free gift. So don't delay, call now.
Call 1-800-833-4198.
Just a few miles from the shores of Lake Erie, it's the PBA Flagship Open at the Eastway Lanes in Erie, Pennsylvania. Randy Peterson, Ron Thulin again with you on this Sunday afternoon, a balmy Sunday afternoon in Erie. Temperature in 45. It's nice outside.
45, 50 degrees tonight. Get the grill ready.
Here is Blaze Bedoya. Well, he took advantage of that situation. The young man who decided to turn pro after Medford, and now it's time for Dexter's Footwork of the Pros. Let's hear from PBA Rookie of the Year candidate Blaze Bedoya.
As a rookie on the PBA Tour, I've learned how to adapt to different approaches. This week, my Dexter solution was the number 2 heel with the number 4 sole. As a power player, I need the minimal amount of slide possible. With this combination, it gave me the best result.
Perfect. Cool. Well, to learn more about the Dexter solution for you, talk to your local pro or visit DexterShoe.com. Well, the Dexter shoe worked well for him there. Is Bedoya not backing down to the challenge? He's got 2 in a row, cuts the lead down to 11.
Really put the nice touch on that smoke wagon there, Ron. That ball hits the pins. There's not going to be anything left.
So he's got that high backswing. He hesitates. And he lets loose. Steve Wilson, best strike percentage of the finalists this week, 73%. A win today would really set him up for the rest of the year. And he answers the challenge.
Again, we talked about it before. His ball reaction is so good. He gets it in a little bit, the ball holds its line. He gets it right a little bit, the ball checks up a little bit early, rolls out into the 1-3. Just a real smooth blending of the pattern this week.
You know, the fact that Steve is competitive day in and day out on this tour on any conditions, he's not going to dominate, but he's not going to get shut out either. And that's quite a tribute to his ability.
Oh, yeah. How about that messenger? That bird dog came a-hunting.
It's my turn.
Your turn it is, my friend. Let's take a look at Steve's footwork.
Watch this ball go out. About the second board, come peeling back. The headpin's going to go to the sidewall. Look at that thing right on the second board. Here it comes.
You know, Blaze Bedoya needs a strike here. He's down by 31. This will cut it to 21. Come on. Oh, yeah, baby.
Where's the love?
Oh, let's go billfold hunting.
Oh, that powered, man. You're like, well, let's see. Steve Wilson throws that kind of medium power ball,
right,
and he gets that really fast messenger to come across. And then here's Blaze throwing that
it's got a heater
big power ball, and that one just like kind of took its time coming over.
He's got that Randy Johnson fastball. A strike would cut the lead down to 11. Wow. You know, he never doubted he could compete on this level, even at a very early age. He said he was basically lived in a bowling alley, grew up in a bowling alley. And look where he's starting from there, Andy.
Watch the big drift to the left. Big high backswing, and a power player walks left to give their swing room to get up underneath that right shoulder and create all that leverage and all that power.
The lead is down to 11. airtight.
Now, here's the situation we have, Ron. Blaze Bedoya can strike out and shoot 258. Steve Wilson goes 9 spare strike. He shoots 258.
Just like that one.
Steve Wilson strikes on the first ball, the 10th frame. He's a winner.
Steve 5 in a row. Blaze 4 in a row.
Striking 5. Steve Wilson advances.
He has worked on this part of his game, the mental aspect, staying poised and relaxed in this type of situation. Oh, yeah! Well, some of them haven't been pretty, but it still counts.
He gets the leader, the love tap. What a huge break.
Blaze had one, and now Steve gets one.
Watch the 6 pin. The pin second to the right. Goes into the gutter. Thing just leans on the 10. Watch this reaction.
Soften up a little.
Well, he's in the driver's seat now. And then nail it up. Oh, yes. Now he just needs 5.
Oh, he's done. He's winner.
He's done.
You know, Ron, entry fee on the PBA Tour, $400. Amount that you need to stay out on tour every week, about $1,200. Throwing a double in the 10th frame when you need it to win, priceless.
Good line. Now Steve Wilson will advance. He's on course to win his 4th career title, and the rookie Blaze Bedoya. Great tournament for the young man, and he learned a very valuable lesson today. You're going to hear a lot from Blaze Bedoya, folks. This young man has got a great deal of confidence, an incredible amount of ability. But the veteran Steve Wilson will advance. He is in the title match. You're probably wondering how he got the name Blaze. Believe it or not, his mom named him after Blaze Roberts Furniture in Vegas. Said he didn't find out about how the name came about till he was 12 years old. She knew something was special because his mom bowled the best game of her life while she was pregnant with Blaze, 254. And you can see the Rookie of the Year race right now. Tommy Jones seems to be in the driver's seat. Mike Machuga, though, right behind.
Chris Sand, Brian Kretzer right there. What a tight race for Rookie of the Year.
That's something Blaze told us last night he's not even concerned with right now. He says he just wants to get better on the tour. Well, the 10 has been the pesky pin for Blaze Bedoya.
You got to give him a lot of credit, Ron. He bowled a really good game. He had a couple of shots that didn't strike when he got to the 1-3. And I mean, he's going to shoot 240 his first time on television. A little bit of carry here and there. You know, it's a different ball game.
5 10s failed to fall in this match for Bedoya. Now Blaze Bedoya will lose to Steve Wilson. Steve Wilson advances to the finals, and we have semifinal match. Straight ahead, Jason Queen has been waiting in the wings, and he will take on Mika Koivuniemi, looking for his 3rd PBA victory.
Are you still playing cell phone roulette while you're driving? What you need is the Copilot Speaker Pro. It's a hands-free speaker phone system that plays through your car stereo.
Make sure Charlie Mitchell has a chance to review it.
That's right. Now you can turn your cell phone into a hands-free speakerphone with a rich, bold sound of your car stereo.
Guess what, Mommy? My teacher put my drawing up on the blackboard.
Why get tangled up in wires or mess with sticky goo on your dashboard installing some tiny, tinny speaker you can hardly hear? The Copilot Speaker Pro installs in 3 seconds flat without a single wire and plays through the big speakers on your car stereo. The universal cradle fits any make and model cell phone. Just plug the one-piece unit into your cigarette lighter and set a car radio button to 96.1 FM. When you get a call, just press that button and you can talk and listen hands-free. You'll be able to drive safely with both hands on the wheel, no matter how much you use your cell phone. And you'll hear the other party loud and clear through your car stereo.
Yeah, go down to 1355 Riverside, okay?
Got it. When you're done, simply go back to your favorite radio station or tape. Use 2 different cars? The Copilot Speaker Pro can transfer from one car to another as easily as you do. It's the best hands-free speakerphone system you can get, and it's yours for only $29.95. But wait, call now and get this microcharge signal enhancer, a $19.95 value, free. Simply stick it on the inside of your cell phone, and you'll enjoy better signal strength than ever. So order your Copilot Speaker Pro now.
To order your Copilot Speaker Pro system, call toll-free 1-800-232-0800 or send check or money order for $29.95 plus shipping and handling to Grade by USA, P.O. Box 940730, Simi Valley, California, 930940730. Call now 1-800-232-0800.
Welcome back to Erie, Pennsylvania. Semifinal number 1 is in the books. Blaze Bedoya falling to Steve Wilson, 278-247. Steve advancing to the finals against the winner of our next match. As we take a look at our Alka-Seltzer brackets, Wilson advancing. He will take on the winner of Queen and Koivuniemi. That'll be coming up straight ahead. You know, Pete Weber has certainly had a good season and a glorious career, but who is Pete Weber? Well, let's find out as we ask 10 questions.
That would be Mark Roth. I mean, he is the one, the first time I saw him bowl on TV, see this guy just jamming his fingers as far into the bowling ball as he can get, and just jamming that thumb, you know, and he shoots 299, and then Dad was doing the TV show at the time, so when he got home, I said, Dad, I want to bowl like Mark Roth. I was a bus boy for the bowling center and then a lane maintenance guy, or a mechanic in the back of the bowling center at Dick Weber Lanes in Florida, and paid good money too, $11 an hour. Lincoln Mercury Grand Marquis, a big boat. It's just one of them unfortunate things, you know, when you get your license, you have an accident and the car gets totaled. Baby back ribs smothered in barbecue sauce, and I mean lots of barbecue sauce. So when you take a bite, you got it like all over your face, all over your clothes. That's how I like my barbecue. Best meal my wife cooks me. Tomato soup and grilled cheese. Oh, let's see, AC/DC Back in Black. Led Zeppelin, the one with Black Dog and Stairway to Heaven on it. Boston's first album. Probably Loverboy Get Lucky and The Best of Van Halen. Wow, I never really thought about that. But I'm going to have to say Brian Voss and Norm Duke, just because I know some of the pants I have are $300 pants, $400 pants, $120 shirts. Come on. Pepe Le Pew, because he always gets the girl no matter what. I sing the AC/DC songs in there, and every once in a while I'll throw something like real mellow in there, like a real mellow Foreigner song or something like that. They're Haynes, and leave it at that. I'm not an asshole. I'm very nice off the lanes. I will answer any questions you guys want to ask me. All you have to do is come up and ask.
The lady that cooks the best tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich, and her husband wears Hanes like Michael Jordan. She is standing by for our second semifinal between Jason Queen and Mika Koivuniemi. And Jason is up, wearing his lucky red shirt. Jason, and believe it or not, he's got a great relationship with Pete Weber. They're very, very close friends. Their wives are friends, and he says, we're oil and water, though. So close that Tracy washed the shirt for him last night so he could wear it today.
Yeah, I think Jason and Pete are probably about as far apart at either end of the spectrum as you can get. Oil and water was absolutely perfect.
Well, he does have one title, but that came as an amateur. He won the Masters back in 1997.
And obviously not the start he was looking for, leaving a 2-8-10 his opening shot. Get in there. I watched his ball reaction in practice, Ron, and it looked a little suspect, especially on the left lane. You see what happens when he just shot that spare shot. You know, his ball goes a little bit light. He moves right to try to cover the 2-8. The ball almost hooked past the 2-pin.
And now he's going up against Koivuniemi.
This guy here is just brewing with confidence.
Looked a little bit straighter on that ball than he did in the...
Yeah, it sure did. Look straighter and looked a lot harder, didn't it? Obviously, the two go hand in hand. You want to throw the ball straighter? One way to do that, one way to cut down hook is throw it faster.
Also, a ball change for Mika.
Goes a ball that goes a little bit straighter. There's another ball change. Ow. Where's my sunglasses when you need them?
Happy face ball. Only happy that makes it. Well, this is going to be an interesting match because Mika had a chance right away to jump all over Jason Queen. Gets the spare.
Well, it's still early. It's if you're going to open anywhere in the match, you'd want it to be the first frame. And it's just going to be interesting to see how it plays out for Jason Queen and what type of ball reaction he's really going to have on that left lane, or if it was just a case of jitters and a bad shot.
Already we were remarking before the match that you and I did his Masters win. In fact, it was the first time you and I worked together in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And he was very quiet, very unassuming. And over the last year and a half, 2 years, we have seen this man's confidence grow.
He's starting to get a lot of confidence by having success out here on the tour and knowing in his own mind that he can play with the best in the world.
Jason, the 28-year-old out of Decatur, Illinois. His wife Sheila made her way up here as soon as he made the telecast, called her up, and she started driving from just outside of Chicago. And he says, boy, I hope they cut it up into part last night. There's Sheila. A little bit last night, a little bit this morning, but Sheila made sure she was going to be here. You know, and we have to talk, too, about just a couple of weeks ago in Burlington, North Carolina. We saw John Jowdy, one of the great teachers, and he spent an awful lot of time with Jason Queen working on his game.
Changed his push away, made him relax his swing a little bit. Hello! We've seen a lot of that this week.
Oh, boy.
And today.
The 10-pin would win an ugly contest this week.
The messenger, the bird dog, slapping the dime, whatever you want to call it. The head pin's going to go to the sidewall, and here it comes. Bye-bye now.
That helps. After that open frame in the first. Now the pressure swings over to Koivuniemi. And he answers that challenge rather handily.
Looks like he's gone to a ball that goes straighter. He's moved a little bit right, keeping his line nice and straight and firm.
Currently number 5 in the PBA and money winning this year. A win would put him number 2 for this season.
Oh, winning the U.S. Open for $100,000 doesn't hurt that statistic any.
Strike would put him up by 22 here early on, just in the 4th frame. Oh, my.
Seeing that this is the trouble that you have when you go to a ball that has a little less friction to it. Throw it a little bit too hard, the ball pushes too far down the lane. Comes up late, leaves a 210.
When you talk about less friction for the novice out there, what do you mean?
Well, the ball's not adhering to the lane. It's not gripping the lane. You go to a straighter ball, the outer shell or the shell of the bowling ball isn't as porous, doesn't have as much friction to it, so it's not going to grab the lane.
Oh, my. That's a big-time open frame. Well, he returned the favor to Jason Queen, who opened the match with an open.
Try to get the ball to the left side of the 2-pin, slide it into the 10. Speed and board. That's speed is registered at about 9 feet from foul line, going down towards the pins, and target is at the arrows, about 15 feet.
Well, Jason Queen's starting to feel it. Well, Sunday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, see how the Major League Baseball careers of Darryl Strawberry and Dwight Gooden have intertwined in Starcrossed, an ESPN original documentary, The Season Behind Bars Part 2. Part of the block on ESPN. After the season, stay tuned to the block for Pardon the Interruption, Sports Century 1982, and Sidelines LA Hoops presented by Gatorade. More information, log on to ESPN.com.
Oh, same deal on that left lane.
Well, tell us about the lanes now, because all week they've been playing straighter. The guys have been scoring well, but now we've seen it start to break down a little bit.
Well, the oil is probably a little heavier left, and when they get it going up the lane just a pinch, the ball's going to go a little bit straighter. That left lane's the one that looks sensitive to me. All week long, obviously, this wasn't an issue. TV day is always a different day. Pressure.
Get it.
Pressure, emotions run high. I mean, there's a lot of different factors.
Well, 2 open frames now for the rookie.
When I'm looking at my CAT system here, and it's telling me that location and velocity for Jason Queen, his last 2 shots on the left lane was identical.
Looking out and open. Now Mika Koivuniemi gave one back, and I think the veteran understands now that the advantage has swung back over to his side.
Well, you know, he likes to be firm and he likes to be real hard. And I think he's understanding that, you know, I just can't heave it down the lane. I've got to kind of find a happy medium there. You know, the right amount of speed, the right hit, the right direction.
Keep an eye on his towel, by the way, because when he's bowling well, he'll always put the towel the same way. We saw him grabbing it after that first ball. Strike would put him up by 11. Queen far from out of this. Big hops. Oh my!
Okay, 7-10 today.
We saw that. He did the same thing against Bob Learn last night. This ball should have been nothing more than a ringing 10. Watch the action, the head pin, and watch what happens to the 7-pin. Nothing even touches it. He blows pitch right by it.
He was surprised. He thought it was good.
At worst, he should have gotten 9 on that shot. He gets 8.
Throwing it hard. 2 open frames for Mika Koivuniemi, 2 open frames for Jason Queen. It is anybody's match in this semifinal number 2. The winner will advance to the finals. We'll be back. Mika Koivuniemi leaving the 4th open, leaving the 6th open. Now he finds himself down by 21 pins as he bowls in the 7th while we were away. Jason Queen struck in the 6th and 7th to open up this lead. Regroup, and he does.
Ron, he's only made 1 bad shot. That was in the 4th frame. He got a little firm. That shot in the 6th frame is just unbelievable. Take a look at our CAT's information, his speed, how consistent it is. We talk about it week in and week out. This obviously is wrong. And the reason why is a lot of times Mika, because he lofts it so far, a lot of times the sensor just doesn't pick up the ball leaving his hand.
He likes that.
Take that, 7-10.
You know, Randy, he was really hooking the ball a lot more, it appeared, in the opening matches, but later on in the matches, he moved his feet, started playing a little bit straighter. He's the kind of guy that doesn't mind that. He can move a lot, can't he?
I think that's his strong suit, going straight and firm. Anytime you see a guy lofting the ball, for example, Dave Ferraro back in when Dave Ferraro was a star out here, Dave Ferraro lofted the ball. He was a very straight player.
Here's a guy that usually throws it straight and really hard. Makes so many quality shots in match play, and he's doing it again today.
Come on.
Well, today marks the final week of voting in the ballot at Little Creek's Geico Direct Battle Ballot. The ballot now features George Bradham III, Del Ballard Jr., and wait a minute,
this is wrong. This is wrong.
No.
The guy that won is this guy right here. Sorry about my penmanship.
Richard Wolf is the winner.
Richard Wolf.
Now the winner of this week's voting earns the final spot in the limited 32-man field. To vote, you can log on to www.pba.com and click the Battle at Little Creek link on the homepage.
Yeah, that's right.
We were kidding when we pushed you last week. Having a little fun with it, I might add.
Jason Queen got a huge break in the 8th frame when he tripped the 4, and he followed it up with just a beautiful shot in the 9th.
Yeah, 4 in a row now for Jason Queen. Mika Koivuniemi trails by 31.
Putting the big heat on the big fin.
Big, tall, lanky, throwing the high, hard one again. No, he's not giving up easily. That's 3 in a row now for Koivuniemi. But Jason Queen is in the driver's seat, still leading by 21. Said he really, as we mentioned in the first match, hasn't been doing a whole lot of striking this week. So that has been a problem for him.
Hit the pocket a lot, but his carry percentage is probably the lowest of any of our 5 guys on TV today.
62%. Leads it here. And he gets it.
Well, keep him honest. One more hit, he'll force Jason to mark.
You know, the man that came to the United States, and I remember talking to him in Albuquerque, said that we asked him why he came to the United States to bowl. He said, because these are the best in the world. I needed to go against the best. You know, winning all the titles overseas, he's won them in so many countries. He said, no, I've got to bowl against the best. That's why he came to the States.
Right now, if he strikes out in the 10th frame, Jason Queen can go 9 spare, strike for a tie. First hit in the 10th, Jason Queen goes to the championship round.
Come on.
You heard Mika screaming, lock day, lock day. That means carry and finish. Again, we're going to see another messenger. Head pin goes, actually runs into the 5 pin. The 5 pin almost takes the 10 out.
Well, all Jason Queen has to do is mark in the 10th. And he will be bowling for his first title as a professional. Mika Koivuniemi, not pleased, especially you leave the 4th and the 6th open. He has to settle for a 2-11. Now Jason Queen, the man who idolizes Pete Weber. They both have the same attitude, though, when you talk to him, that I don't like to lose attitude. Pete's taking him under his wing, and Jason's going to make the next step in his professional career right here. Nice and smooth, and it's over.
Just really impressed with his performance last night against Tony Reyes when he swept him 3-0. Just makes fantastic shots. This guy has really worked hard on his mental game run. You talked to him last night about the books he's been reading. He's real solid when it comes to talking about what's above the shoulders, and has worked very hard on his game, and he's got a combination now that's really working. A great mental game to go along with a great physical game.
And to advance to the final, I mean, this was a field that started 153. The average to make the top 32 is 233. And the young man out of Decatur, Illinois, his wife Sheila likes what she sees. With Tracy Weber in the background watching, something she's used to seeing, guys bowling well. Sheila says that, or Tracy telling us last night, that some reason they all clicked, the 4 of them. Pete has helped him on a number of different areas, mainly the mental aspect of his game. That's part of the tour, though, the family atmosphere out here. Everybody helps everybody else. Well, we've got our finalist. Jason Queen will be going after his first professional win. Steve Wilson will be going after his 4th. $40,000 on the line. We'll have the finals right after this.
Hey, the Ovaltine man! Yeah!
No kid can resist the taste of rich chocolate Ovaltine.
This is so good! And chocolatey! This is great chocolate milk, isn't Nesquik? Get real. It's rich chocolate Ovaltine.
Kids love Ovaltine's rich chocolate taste. And Ovaltine adds vitamins and minerals that Nesquik powder doesn't. So why give them Nesquik when you can give them more? And there are more vitamins and minerals in Ovaltine.
Ovaltine rocks!
Ovaltine, please!
How to cut your current monthly bills by as much as 50% or more.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila. Sometimes, no matter how hard you work at it, you just can't seem to make ends meet. You're writing those checks every month, and you just barely have enough money to pay your bills, much less save anything. Want to change all that? Here's how. Call Home 123. They can help you cut your monthly bills by as much as 50%. Let's say these are some of your monthly payments. Home 123 can show you how to turn all those payments into one low monthly payment that could be as little as half of what you're paying now. In this example, that would be almost $500 extra in your pocket. Just think what you could do with money like that. You could make it happen right now with one call. If you own your home, call Home 123. Even if your credit isn't exactly perfect, they'll come up with a loan that's right for you. Call now and see how easy it can be to make ends meet. Call 1-800-HOME-123 or visit us on the web at home123.com. It's how to get the money you need.
Attention inventors, call for your free Inventor's Kit, 877-800-0842, or visit us on the web at inventorshelpline.com.
You'll receive free confidential forms and useful information describing the invention process. And when you call right now, you'll also receive a free brochure which tells you how to begin to develop your new idea. So get the ball rolling. Pick up your phone right now and call for your free Inventor's Kit.
Call today toll-free for your free Inventor's Kit, 877-800-0842, or visit our website at inventorshelpline.com.
Semifinal number 2 is now in the books. We are awaiting the final $40,000. The PBA Flagship Open. That's the first place prize check. Jason Queen wins at 243 over Mika Koivuniemi. Now it is Wilson taking on Queen in our finals. Joining me again, Randy Peterson. Randy, you talk about Jason Queen. Here he has 2 open frames, but yet he stood up to the challenge. I think he showed some mental toughness, but is 243 enough?
Well, I don't think it's going to be enough against Steve Wilson, but, I really liked Jason's poise in that match. A couple open frames early, going against the U.S. Open champion. He hung in there and he did what he had to do to win.
How about Steve Wilson right now? Because the lanes are not playing the way they have the entire week.
Well, the lanes are getting a little tricky, but I said it, earlier in the telecast. I said it last night when I watched him bowl. To me, Steve Wilson's got the best ball reaction because his ball blends the condition out.
Okay, how about a prediction? I'm going to put you on the rim, on the edge right now. What do you think?
I got to go with Steve Wilson just because of the fact that he's won before, and I just really love his ball reaction. I think he's chosen the right bowling ball for the right condition, and he's making great shots.
As they say in the sports profession, we will see. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we will have the finals of the PBA Flagship Open from Erie, Pennsylvania. Will it be Queen or will it be Wilson? We'll find out in just a couple of minutes. Although he didn't make the TV finals this year, Walter Ray Williams has shown he loves Erie, Pennsylvania. From his first TV appearance here in 1991 to his first Erie title in 1993. And again in 1998, Walter Ray had made the TV telecast 8 times, and in the process has probably had 8 different hairdos. But look at the money that is on today. $40,000 first place prize check, 20 for second, third, 10 and 10, and 9 if you make the TV finals. Walter Ray didn't touch that while he was bowling here. And we are ready for our final. Steve Wilson, Jason Queen. Jason gets first call.
The 11 times that Walter's bowled here in Erie, he's made about $92,000 or $93,000.
There have been 3 new champions crowned this year. Will there be a 4th? Steve Wilson, solid the entire week. That's the best way you can put it.
See what his ball reaction's like with that 1-game layoff.
It was 19th after the first day, 13th after the second. Only lost 2 matches. The round of 16, 1-3-2. 2 games after well, it's heating up a little bit.
So far, so good. It's only 1 shot, but his reaction looked very predictable.
Yes.
Steve's had a really nice year in a quiet kind of way. He's made a couple shows. I think his 3rd telecast, $70,000 or so without winning. Obviously indicative of our increased prize funds out here. Just a nice, quiet year, having a really nice little season. But with a win here today, boy, he could really make it right here.
He goes from 72,000 at 40 more to that. He's got 2 in a row to start things off. Jason Queen, once again, back in 1997, won the Masters as an amateur.
This guy's got a great level head on him. His feet are planted firmly on the ground.
You got to love a guy that one of the reasons he joined the tour is he said he read the book, Who Moved My Cheese? And he said he knew right then, which is a best-selling book, New York Times bestseller. So I knew right then I had to be on the tour. Oh, this is going to be sweet with 3 E's. 2 in a row for both.
Well, there's no backing down on this guy. Obviously, he knows he's in a position of being able to win his first PBA event ever, and you gotta lay it all out on the line now. There's no backing down now.
Here's a guy also that didn't drill a ball all week. I mean, he stayed consistent this entire week.
Well, and that was pretty consistent with the ball reaction. When your ball reaction is that good and the players can play this far to the right, you don't see the lanes breaking down a whole lot to where you have to get into 4th, 5th, 6th arrow.
Oh.
It's all right.
Pinch light.
You could tell immediately, said that's all right. Let's take a look and see why that 10 was stubborn.
This ball is just not going to catch enough for the head pin. Leaves the shaker 10, but he's all right with that because that could have been a lot worse. That ball's a little bit lighter. He's going to look at it into a 10.
Well, a spare in the third for Jason Queen. Steve Wilson opening up with a couple. Strike would put him up by 11. We were kidding Steve last night, asking him who gets more nervous. He or his wife Sherry. She said definitely Sherry gets more nervous than me. I think that's probably the way for every player.
I think so.
3 in a row for Steve Wilson.
All right. Steve is just dialed in. He's making great shots. He's got a great ball reaction. He's got some lane help. And then, to go along with that, he knows he's bowling well. He's got a lot of confidence. And so that ball, as long as that ball keeps striking,
stick with it.
Tough to beat.
Steve Wilson wins. He'll be the 12th pro that will have surpassed $100,000 in single season earnings. That'll tie the record of 12 set back in 93 and 94. Oh my.
Too fast.
Too fast?
Well, it looked good to me. I mean, ring and 10s always look pretty good to me. He said it was a little fast. Take a look at my cat system here. Speed-wise, it was about the same. Maybe just a pinch right. Just a little bit different angle into the pocket.
Well, he picks up the spare, so he opens with 3 strikes in the spare. Jason Queen, couple of strikes in the spare. So now Jason knows that he needs to take advantage of it. Steve Wilson has been in this position before. Oh, the first 7 we've seen left today.
Yeah, that's a bad break too. That can strike 99 times out of 100. It's a good shot.
Randy, one of the things we learned about Jason last night, you and I were talking, that he knew what he had to do to get on the show, and he did it. That showed us a great deal of confidence, didn't it?
Yeah, I think that he's got a lot of confidence going because of the fact he worked with John Jowdy. He's got a much better feel now.
Each week our viewers have an opportunity to leave a question on the PBA website, have it answered live on the air. This week's question comes to us from Gregory Powell of Pittsburgh, California. Gregory wants to know, recently Randy has talked a lot about staying under the ball. Can you explain exactly what that means and why it is so important? Right after Jason goes, we'll have the answer for you, Gregory Powell. You'd think we'd have somebody from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, since we're 2 hours from it.
They knew you were coming.
That's right.
The reason why you stay underneath the bowling ball is to control the back end part of the lane, to control the change of direction. Jason Queen's going to be around it because he's looking for a little bit more back end reaction, and Steve Wilson's going to be underneath it. Much straighter, much more up the back. You do that to control the change of direction down the lane.
And for having his question selected, Gregory receives the PBA prize package. Remember, you can leave your question by logging on to PBA.com, going to the community page, and clicking on the TV question link. And we encourage you to do that. Both with strikes in the 5th.
Steve Wilson, about the 10th, 11th board at the arrows. That's 15 feet down the lane, going out to about the 3rd board. We get our information each and every week from the Cagle Training Center in Sebring, Florida. Coach Richard Shockley and John Davis provide valuable information with the CAT system.
As Steve, who's born in Fort Lauderdale, now lives in Lake Worth, Florida. 2 in a row. He is up by 21 as Jason Queen will be set to bowl in the 6th. We're going to step aside. Our finals of the PBA Flagship Open coming your way live from Toledo, Ohio. We'll return right after this. Some of the greatest names in PBA history have been crowned national champion, but none have won the first place prize offered this year. $120,000 goes to the winner of the inaugural PBA World Championship. Be sure to join us live next Sunday at 12:30 from the Southwick Lanes in Toledo, Ohio, for the PBA World Championship, and everybody is gearing up for that. And our tournament co-chairpersons here at Eastway Lanes, Nancy and George Warren. We appreciate their hospitality. And Randy, I've got to say, this center, the Eastway Lanes, is by far one of the most immaculate I have ever been around. Great place.
It's a phenomenal center. You know, you can bowl here in a white shirt, and when you're done, you don't have that big black spot on your shirt, right, which I love. But you know what? The Lytle family, all 6 kids, the entire family still works here. The mother, the father, George and Nancy do just an incredible job, and the fans here in Erie are arguably the best.
Hospitality's been great, especially if you keep striking like young Jason Queen is. In fact, to tell you how Erie has just encompassed this tournament, you know, Storm has put on parties at Damon's, at Plymouth, at Green Garden, the restaurants. Pete Weber's out there, you know, Dennis Horan's out there.
Brian
Himmler's out there, and they're all watching this live at these restaurants. It's the whole city has kind of come together on this.
And you know what? Who's responsible for that is Nancy and George Warren and the rest of the Lytle family that operate Eastway Lanes. It's just a phenomenal center run by just great people.
Striker cut the lead to 1. And it does! Oh, it's oxygen checking time now.
He got it into that swish zone. The little wally, the light shot. This is why you put hook and power on a bowling ball. Look at those eyes, that concentration, that steady head. And look at this reaction.
Well, his concentration has been great, and so has Steve Wilson's. Must have this.
Wow.
That's the way to answer it. Well, Sunday, don't miss the exciting conclusion of the World Golf Championships, the Accenture Match Play Championships. Coverage of the final match begins at 2 o'clock Eastern, live at 11 o'clock Pacific on ABC, a little bit later on today. Back in just a few minutes.
Scotty McCarron in that long putter.
It's a battle of high school teammates, high school rivals.
It's working.
Well, the strike would put him up by 21. He's working on 3 in a row.
Wow.
Oh, he got away with one.
Steve Wilson is just putting the touch on these shots that he's throwing. Jason Queen can strike out for 268. Steve Wilson can strike out for 279. I want you to watch his body position and his finish after he lets go.
He is so balanced, Randy.
He's making great shots. Every shot's on balance.
Here's Jason Queen. He has 3 in a row.
Cut the lead to 11. Speaking of balance, did you see how he posted that shot?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as the ball left his hand, I mean, there wasn't a thing that moved.
You know, he was more of a one-dimensional player prior to this tournament. Did you get that sense?
Well, my recollection of him going back a couple years ago is he was really straight and really firm and really hard. We'll watch him freeze and post this shot. That head doesn't move after release. It's great. You know what? He's really worked hard on lowering his ball speed and trying to change hand positions now. He's not just a one-dimensional player anymore. Cut the lead to 1 pin.
And he does. Jason Queen, the rookie on the tour, not showing like he's a rookie right now.
Well, he's really taking it to Steve Wilson right now. If Steve Wilson doesn't strike in the 9th frame, Jason Queen can strike out in the 10th and win. If Steve Wilson strikes in the 9th, strikes in the 10th, and goes 9 spare, we have a possibility of a tie.
Then things get interesting. First things first, the 9th.
Wow.
Oh, my.
Gets it a little right. The ball flips up, gets it into the swish zone, the half pocket zone, and he carries. At the 9th board, 9.5 board at the arrows.
Watch that.
This ball's going to get out to the second board. There's friction there. That's why the ball's hooking back from it.
5 in a row for Steve Wilson.
Oh, yeah! The ball is dead flush. He almost leaves a solid 9. Good, clean living right there. Watch this. This ball's going to be perfect. The bowling ball's going to go right by the 9 pin. Oh, and something comes off the sidewall. What a huge break.
He only needs 1 strike, and it's over.
1 hit, he's a winner. 9 spare. Possibility of a tie.
Well, he started out with 3 in a row, spared in the 4th, and it's been strikes ever since, my friends. Oh, no!
Well,
he thought he had it.
Don't go anywhere because we're about to see exactly what Jason Queen's made of. Big time ring at 10-6 goes up and around.
Up and around.
Very important right here to make the spare.
It's a must.
Oh, no.
Shades of Chris Barnes at Mohegan Sun.
3 in the 10th frame, Jason Queen's a winner. Anything less, we either have a tie, Steve Wilson will win on the bench.
How did this happen, Randy?
I don't know. He's been throwing so many strikes, hasn't shot at too many spares. Just a mental letdown.
Gimme. Come on, big dog.
The moment every professional bowler lives for, performing under pressure.
And there's one.
Okay, one more.
What is going through his mind, Randy? Have you ever done that? And the feeling has to be just probably the loneliest.
The best thing that can go through your mind right now is very little. You don't want anything going through your mind except where you're standing with your feet and what target you're looking at. You think about nothing else. You don't think of the money. You don't think of people watching you at home. You get into that zone. You focus on where you're putting your feet. You look at that target, and you let your body throw the ball the way it's been trained to throw it.
Well, Steve was 12 for 12 coming into this match. The must.
Steve Wilson's your winner.
Steve Wilson has done it. Oh, my. Misses the spare.
It's going to be 257, 267. What a great finish.
Well, Sherry and Sarah have something to celebrate. His 4th PBA win. Jason Queen, so close. And he'll pick up the spare.
Thank you, Dad.
And how tough was that? Steve Wilson thought everything was over in the 10th frame.
Great week. Good on you too, man.
But the 2002 PBA Flagship Open champion goes to Steve Wilson. The $40,000 first place prize check is in his pocket. Jason's last shot, Randy.
You can't get any closer to not striking. This ball is a pretty good shot. Gets up into the 1-3. Watch the 10 wiggle.
And Sheila thought he had it. And no. What a valiant performance, though, by Jason Queen. The rookie almost came through, fell just a tad short. But Steve Wilson's our winner. We'll step aside. We'll return to Erie, Pennsylvania, the Flagship Open, right after this. Live coverage of the Flagship Open on ESPN is brought to you by Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief. Nothing puts out the fire faster. By Geico Direct. You too can save 15% or more on car insurance. Call Geico Direct at 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Dexter, the #1 bowling shoe in the world. The right shoe for you. Well, Steve Wilson becomes the 12th $100,000 winner on the tour this year. As far as season earnings, he defeats Jason Queen. It was a tight match, and Randy is standing by with both. Randy?
Exciting match, but Steve, we all want to know, what was going through your mind after you missed the 10 pin in the 10th frame?
Well, honestly, I thought I blew the tournament. You know, with the lanes the way they are, and Jason was bowling good, and he made great shots at the end, and they just didn't fall.
Well, it was obviously an exciting performance, and I said all along that, you know, last night I watched you bowl. This week, it looked like you had the best ball reaction of any of the 5 players.
Well, I think I did. I had a good look out there, and I was able to stay loose and make some good shots and got away with a few, and, you know, that's what you need on this.
Jason did give you all you wanted.
Yeah, way too much, actually.
Thanks, Steve. Jason, you know, you told Ron and I last night, no matter win or lose, that you were going to take something away from this tournament. Tell us what that is.
You know, the experience is great. I mean, just to stand up here on national television, have a chance at a title. I mean, what more can you ask for? You know, maybe next time it'll be my turn.
Well, it was a great performance from both of you guys. Steve, congratulations. Ron, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Randy Peterson. Just about a year ago, back on March 4th, 2001, Steve Wilson won his last tournament. That changes now as we take a look at the PBA champions for the 2001-2002 season. Add Steve Wilson to the list. As we head to next week, the Toledo, Ohio, $120,000 first place prize check, and what a time to win a tournament. The confidence that Steve Wilson is going to have going into that, and once again, he goes over $100,000 in prize money. Excellent match. Both players very strong, 267, 257. The final score again, Steve Wilson taking care of Jason Queen in the finals. Just a reminder, our next event will be coming your way next Sunday, 12:30 Eastern Time, the PBA World Championships from Southwick Lanes in Toledo, Ohio. $120,000, the richest purse in NBA history. That is what is going to be on the line. Once again, our winner from the Eastway Lanes in Toledo, Ohio, Steve Wilson, is the champion of the PBA Flagship Open for 2002. The trophy and the check and the confetti. Just a reminder, coming up next, the ACC matchup of top 25 teams as Wake Forest will take on Maryland. And, of course, next week we will be in Toledo, Ohio. The Southwick Lanes, Wake Forest, Maryland, straight ahead. For Randy Peterson and our entire crew in Erie, Pennsylvania, I'm Ron Thulin. We do thank you for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
Wow.
They had been tortured by the memories of recent disappointments.
It's the most remarkable comeback I have ever seen.